The Trojans hit the double-digit mark in wins, giving them a record of 10-3 heading into this weekend's games, while McIntyre looks to add to his record from here on out. For State Newsfile, I'm Megan Brennan. Chabot's bid for the big chair on City Council brings the number of people who have formally declared an intention to run for mayor in 2017 elections to 4. For State Newsfile, I'm Megan Brennan. It may have been the 36th time in a row the Townsend Tigers have beat the Calgary Flames, but for the kids, it was more about the dream come true than the win. For State Newsfile, I'm Megan Brennan.
Megan Brennan is live at the courthouse. Megan?
Yes, Cassandra, after 2 days of the jury deliberating, they have come to the consensus that Douglas Garland is guilty in all 3 counts of first-degree murder. They started their verdict yesterday and went on till today around 2 o'clock when they came out with the verdict. Again, he has been found of the 3 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of 5-year-old Nathan O'Brien and grandparents Kathy and Alvin Lickness. Kathy, Alvin, and Nathan were last seen June 29th, 2014, after an estate sale at the Licknesses' home in southwest Calgary. It was 4 days after their disappearance that Garland's truck was identified by his sister as a suspect vehicle. After the verdict was out, Crown Prosecutor Shane Parker says there really is no point to delay the sentences any further.
In this particular case, because it's statutory, in other words, Parliament passed the law, there's very little discretion that Justice Gates has to use, and there's really no background reports that need to be prepared on the prisoner at this case. So it's one of those situations where there's no need to delay it, and the sooner we can get closure for all involved, including Mr. Garland, then we should do it.
Crown Prosecutor Shane Parker didn't want to talk on behalf of Nathan's mother, but he did say there was an emotional outburst at the end of the verdict.
Megan, what happens next?
So Garland will spend the rest of his life in jail. The question now is when he can apply for parole. Right now it's seeing that his options are 25 years, 50 years, or 75 years.
Megan Brennan reporting live from the Calgary courthouse.
So growing up, I was a fairly normal Canadian kid. I played hockey, I went to school, and then I'd go home and play video games. That was all good until the 8th grade when I started to be bullied. Bullying caused me to want to escape from life, and escaping from life meant playing video games.
Although it isn't recognized by all medical associations as a diagnosed disorder, video game addiction is very real. According to the University of New Mexico, recent studies suggest that 6 to 15% of all gamers exhibit signs that could be characterized as addiction. Just like other addictions, it comes with warning signs, like feeling restless when not playing, isolating from others in order to spend more time gaming, and many more. Video game addiction is described as an impulse control disorder, which does not involve the use of an intoxicating drug. But what is it about video games that make them so addicting?
I guess you could say I like to play video games, and especially sports video games because it allows you to almost immerse yourself and be these players you idolize from a young age and play with them, and basically one day your dream of becoming a professional athlete, you can make it into a video game.
Your brain loves gaming because gaming provides rapid dopamine release. Dopamine is a chemical in your brain that makes you feel happy. The more you game, the more your brain wants to game. The dopamine being released is what becomes addictive. Cam Adair suffered from game addiction for over 10 years and is now the founder of Game Quitters, an online support that is helping more than 20,000 people from 76 different countries across the world.
I don't believe that gaming is good or bad, and the conversation around that needs to change. It's our own subjective truth about how is this behavior affecting us. So technology is central to all of our lives. In college, over 70% of students are gaming or using technology.
This explains why when you play games, the type of stimulation you receive is much different than what you may experience during other activities. For State Newsfile, I'm Megan Brennan. On the brink of elimination, the Calgary Hitmen are back at practice to prepare for the do-or-die Game 4.
Yeah, I think we can't get too overwhelmed. It's going to be just another game here. I think it's important that we control our emotions, but at the same time, we got to play pretty desperate here, and we got to pull out a few wins here.
Calgary finished off the regular season 42 points behind Regina in the Eastern Conference standings, who are currently ranked number 1 in the country. Veteran players like defenseman Jake Bean are staying positive and putting their trust into coach Mark French.
I don't know if we need to do much different. They're a pretty good team, but Mark knows a lot. He knows what he's doing, and he's probably just going to keep stressing the same things to us, and we just need to start just bearing down a little bit more.
Through 3 games, the Hitmen have now been outscored 15-5 by the Pats, and the odds are overwhelmingly against them, pulling off an upset and clawing their way back into the series. This isn't the first time the Hitmen have had their backs against the wall this season. It would have been easy to write off the team's playoff chance in early March after they lost to the Saskatoon Blades, but the team ended the season by jumping over the Blades in the standings and claiming that Eastern Conference last playoff spot with wins in 5 of their 6 games.
So I think we can try to take the positives from the regular season, and I think for the playoffs it's a clean slate for us, which is good, and we can take that moving forward and just take the bull by the horns kind of thing.
The series resumes with Game 4 tomorrow night right here in Calgary. For State News File, I'm Megan Brennan.